So Jennifer,
Hi.
welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you so much for being here and being so open to teaching us how to visualize. And it's such an important. I personally know that it's such an important element in success. And I don't even know if success is possible if you don't know how to do that. So, can you tell us a little bit about that, about the art of visualization?
Yeah, absolutely. Visualization is something really, really important. Nowadays we live in an era that all of us know how to create goals and set milestone and let's create a plan and design steps to get there. But we forgot how to dream. We forgot the art of dreaming and what it takes to really bring our goals to the next level. Anything that exists today has been dreamt, has been, thought about, has been people were having grand ideas. When you look around, like everything that exists in your home, outside of your home, everybody had an idea at some point in their lives,
Right.
and we're really losing the art of that. So it's really important in business to be able to visualize what it's going to look like, because that's going to be like the fuel that's going to bring you to there.
Right.
Yeah.
Why do you think we as a society have lost the art of the idea and like the visualizing aspect of it that you're talking about?
I think a lot of it has with the fear of failure. Well, actually, no, the fear of success. We fear failure, but I think we fear a lot more success. And I've seen a lot
Mm.
of that with the clients that I'm working with. It's We're afraid to dream because we see other people failing at what we dream of. We see everybody that's at the top. They talk about all the things that they had to do to get there, and it's scary. And we're so afraid to not be able to be enough for that, or to be knowledgeable for that, or to have the capacity to achieve that. So we rather say, no, I'm going to stay small because it's safe, but I'm not going to be dreaming about it because, at least I'm not going to be responsible. I'm not going to have to be messy or fail and things like that.
Exactly. I've never thought of it that way. That makes a lot of sense. And what exactly is visualization? Is it the you just said, the art of dreaming, and our series is actually kind of called that,
Right.
the creating that business of your dreams. So where do we start? Where is it is there a difference between visualization and daydreaming?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And thank you for asking this question. Um, Daydreaming, we all can do that.
Yeah.
You know, we remember ourselves sitting in the school, looking in the window, looking at the birds and thinking, I wish I could fly with the birds. Or, when you're in high school or college, you're thinking about this boy that you're going to call, or this girl you're going to call, or new friends you want to make. Like, we daydream like that. Like, we're in our head doing all sorts of scenarios. When it comes to visualization, it's more intentional. So
Okay.
the difference between that is that when we visualize something with intention, with purpose, with feelings, with structure. So it becomes more something real that we can taste, see, feel, that we can look forward to, but pull towards us. So it's not like, oh, la la la, I'm thinking about things. It's more like, no, 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 I'm visualizing something, I'm seeing it, I see myself there. I don't see the obstacle. I'm just basically teleporting myself into the moment where it's actually happening.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
It is fun.
So it's a lot more than sitting down in your living room with Vogue magazines and cutting out pictures, right? I mean, that's
Yes.
what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of fun and it's part of it. I hosted for 2 years a vision board workshop, and we do that. Sit on the floor and cut pictures in a magazine.
Yeah.
But there's so much more than just that. That to make whatever we're creating on a vision board or in our minds, that needs to be attached to what we want. There's always a reason we want some things, and there's always something we need to find what's the deep meaning of why we want something as well. So, visualization is about the feelings. Like, how do you want to feel when you get to the place you want to be?
Wow.
That's huge.
That's pretty big.
Yeah, and when you actually step into the feeling that you want to have in your dream, that with the place that you want to be, then it's really powerful. Um, part of part of the paradox of that is that, yes, we talk about the feelings we want to have. Yes, we want to talk about the end vision and what it looks like and live from that place in the future and have those feelings. But it's also learning to live in the present moment with what you already have and starting to find these feelings that the things in your life that brings you the same feeling that you're looking for by achieving that goal, so that it makes the journey easier to move forward to.
I see.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. When we're talking about creating the business of our dreams, you know, especially the first time, and I speak from experience personally, like before I had never created a group or anything like that, right? Even though that would be something that was in my heart to possibly do or in my mind, I wouldn't know how that feels, or you know, because I've never done it. So what advice would you give us in how do you adopt a feeling? Because what I'm hearing from you is that part of the visualization process is living from as if you already got that, right? So if you want something, developing that feeling like you've already achieved that. So how do you do that if you've never really experienced anything like that? What is your advice on that?
Well, your advice is practicing matching your trinity, I'm going to call it. So really practicing matching your thoughts, your words, and your action. So every time you have a thought about your dream, you're going to speak something that's related to your dream, and you're going to act towards that dream. So the more you're going to connect the three of them, the more you're going to start feeling how it feels to actually be there. You're going to be like, oh, it's going to feel strange at the beginning because it will be uncomfortable. Because to do something you've never done, you have to be somebody you've never been. So it's practicing connecting the three of them.
Oh, wow. Can you give us an example? I think this is so interesting. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No, I'm sorry. I like talking about this. I mean, it's really profound, and I know,
so
you know, the
profound.
things are really spiritual and profound. So, an example of that would be, I'm going to give myself as an example. So, you know, I was a life coach for 5 years, and I had my own business, and I wanted to coach everybody about everything and all, you know, all that stuff. And now after 5 years, I'm reinventing myself as an executive coach and as a self-expression expert. Like, it's a twist of it. It's still coaching, but it's different. So, you know, I thought about it, and I didn't know really exactly how I wanted it to look like, but I started, you know, to picture it, to feel it, and to read about it. And then now the words that I'm speaking, for me, it's important. You see when I correct people? No, I'm an executive coach, not a life coach.
Yes.
This is where my words come in. And then I started to do interviews with CFO in companies and women CFOs in companies to ask them, you know, what it takes to get there, because these are the women that I want to help. So my action matches what I'm saying, because everything that I want is voiced and translated into action.
So I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's like it's almost like everything you're thinking, talking, and doing matches together. Like, I'm saying no to things that I used to say yes to. It's like,
you don't want to be an executive coach and self-expression expert. You already are.
I already am, exactly.
And you are creating the actions and the interviews and, you know, everything all the amazing things that you already do. You didn't wait. You're just creating even the smaller actions of it all, right?
And it's all
that makes a lot of sense.
That's right. It sounds simple, but it's hard to do because we have all this baggage. We have all the life that we've been living, and we love helping people and saying yes. So also part of my action is saying no to, do you want to coach me about relationship? No. I say no to that.
Wow, that's really powerful. Even if it's an avenue for income, you're saying no to it because you are so focused. And I guess that really does show a lot of faith too. That's faith in action.
Yeah. And funnily enough, I'm not surprised about that, but it's actually, things are happening faster that way. And that's the power of visualization when you practice doing that, because the more you know how it works, the more it becomes effortless and the quicker the things happens to you. It's fascinating.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
And I totally relate to that too, because I've had experiences in my life where, when I finally say, no, it's done, it's a done deal. That in my language, it's like, of course it's a done deal. Why? Because I can't imagine it any other way.
Right.
And I think everyone out there, that's happened to everyone on some level or another. But I always wondered what it took me to get to those sweet spots where it's like, of course it's gonna happen. Duh, that's because I just can't imagine it not, like,
right.
But I feel like the formula that you just described is really powerful way of getting there. That's really, really awesome. Now, one of the other things, not everyone is creative. So, I didn't know I was a creative person until I actually tried it. Until I picked up my first paintbrush, I was like, oh, I could do this. And this is fun, right?
Right.
But I would say that, 90% of the people that I know don't think that they are creative. Do you think everyone's creative or has that creative capacity?
I think everyone has a creative capacity. I think is the meaning we attach to what creative is that's in the way. So oftentimes we associate creative by I'm an artist. I can create art. I can do, wood shelves or birds made out of steel or stuff like that, or drawings. Like that's actually how I used to see creation. But it's really not that. Like everybody can be a creator. Even people that are like in mathematics, they're creators. They make something happen. Creation is about starting something from nothing and making it happen.
Whatever it is, whether it's with numbers or with a paintbrush. Yeah. So we can all create visions and visualize things, even if we're not artistically inclined or creative.
Absolutely. Right? And oftentimes, another point that's important about that is that, people that are so-called creative in the artistic type, we have a very, very, very easy time to dream. So for us, when we visualize, the thing that we need to practice is actually in the doing of it, because we're like, woohoo, it's going to happen. And we're like a little bit like airy like that, and it's exciting. So that's like where we need to practice and sit down and be, I guess, more serious, I call it. But to me, it works, Whereas the opposite, where there's somebody that's less creative in the definition we have of it generally, they tend to be like really good at planning and doing the things, but they can't be creative. So for them, the place to practice is actually in the being, to just be and not like analyze everything.
My wheels are spinning.
I do.
So, in the practice of being, All right, so let me ask you a question. So, how about the times what about our imagination? A lot of people feel like, okay, so I want this, and but they're afraid to. I would say you, all of us, we're afraid to ask for exactly what we want, right? Instead, we ask for a smaller version of what we want. So I don't have to have the mansion. I don't have to have a 6-bedroom house. I just need a 3-bedroom house.
Right.
So where do you see the line between those two? I mean, where is it necessary? Like, should we go for, go home, go what do they go big or go home? Or should we just stay small? How does that work? I mean, because there is also a lot of validity in being humble and being content with what you have. So what do you think about that? It's a loaded question, huh?
No, it is an excellent question. And I love that you use the word humble. So it comes down to the meaning that we put around it. Right. I know as much people that want the big thing because of the status, because they're going to look good, because of everything, and they completely fail to understand why they wanted, their purpose, and how they're going to feel at the end of the day. Because they're seeking something that they think that they want, that they think that they should have. So there's that part of it where there's other people that, yes, they're going to think too small because they don't feel worthy of it. They don't feel worthy that I can have all of that. So that's like another conversation, but you have the two spectrum. So it's really finding like what's in your own way, because everybody has a different definition. So, I have no problem of dreaming huge. And for me, it's not about, status or anything. It's because I really want to help people. I'm thinking legacy. We've had that conversation recently.
Yes.
So it's really finding the meaning into that. And we need people like that dreams big, but we also need people that dream small. I've had people in my vision board workshop that they wanted to take over the world, and there's other people that is like, I just want to make friends, and it's okay because that's what
Wow.
they want.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that what you have to analyze is, or maybe not analyze, but what's important is your underlying, the reason why you want the things that you want.
Mm-hmm.
So is it for your ego, or is it for really what you want? So that's a whole nother, like, finding out what you really want.
Yeah. And some people don't know what they want because they listen to everybody. It's like, well, mom wants this for me, my husband wants this for me, my neighbors, my society wants this for me.
So what's a good sign that you know what you want? That what you think you want is actually something that you really want. I am right here with you because I feel like there's been so many times in my life when I'm like, I want that. Why don't I get that if that's
Right.
what I want? But in reality, I didn't want it because it was just I didn't realize that I wanted it because that's what I was expected to
Mm-hmm.
want, and I just wanted to make everybody else kind of happy, even though, I'm not the type of person to not ask myself questions, but we
Right.
just fall into that,
Mm-hmm.
like, regardless, right?
Yeah, we do.
So how do you know that? What's a good test? Do you ever test yourself? Do I want that for this, or this? Like, what's a good test?
Well, I mean, it it's more about seeing the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want something, I'm looking at it as a big picture and how does it fit? Like, is that an either or? Like, do I want that thing in spite of that? Like, am I going to let something go? And if I let that thing go, what does it mean and how bad do I want that thing? So I guess the way to know if you really want something is to look at what is it going to bring in my life. It's almost like a selfish exercise, and we don't like that word, and I'm using it on purpose because we don't like it because we're humble and all that sort of thing.
Right,
But
right.
it's a selfish exercise because at the end of the day, you go to bed with yourself. You wake up with yourself. You're the person that's living the most time during your entire life with yourself. So if
Yeah.
you're saying like, do I really want this? Am I going to go to bed tonight happy about myself if I get this or if I don't?
Hmm.
So that's one of the tests you can do.
Wow. Yeah, I guess so. It's pretty powerful. I mean, this stuff, you and I talk about this kind of stuff all the time, and I just think it's so important for us to really learn how that we are powerful, powerfully created, and that we can ask for what we want and stop being afraid to live small, right?
Absolutely. And asking is the key. We don't get what we don't ask for.
Exactly. What
It
about
takes,
language? Like you were saying, you said a little bit about actions and making sure that our actions are aligned with our thoughts, and you also mentioned language.
mm-hmm.
Um, how do we talk about? How do I say I am? I don't know, whatever it is that you want. Sometimes you say it, and if you say it in the I am form, you
Mm-hmm.
feel silly.
But it's okay to be silly if it makes a difference.
Right. So,
Yeah, Daure talks a lot about that. He used to talk a lot about that. That I am, when you actually use that word, is very powerful because it's almost like, I don't want to go into quantum physics. I don't know anything about that, but there's some sort of chemical reaction. Not my expertise, but there's something to look into that.
wow.
I just know that the affirmations can be very powerful, just as much as our body language, the way we smile or don't smile, like everything that we do, our words, our body language. Again, it has an influence on everything. It's all
Absolutely.
energy, and it's all what we put out there.
Right. I didn't know that. That I've read so much about the words I am and how powerful they are, and I didn't know that it had the actual saying of it actually has a different quantum physics that's really interesting. It's
Mm-hmm.
really, really cool. All right. Well, I could talk to you all day about this.
Sorry about that.
Yes. And I'm really excited about our workshop that we're going to have with
I
you.
know.
What would you give our viewers if somebody has never done a vision board or visualized before? What is one or two simple exercises they can do in order to get started?
Well, the first thing that I would tell them is to basically relax,
Yes.
let go of the fears, and allow themselves to dream for a little bit. Without, if nothing was in the way, if money was not an issue, if time was available, imagine yourself on a beach or on a ski mountain, whatever you prefer, relaxing, nature, anything by yourself and thinking, what am I dreaming about? Where do I want to go? What imprint do I want to live in this planet? So it's really like bringing yourself really, really, really far. But this is a really good place to start. Like we said at the beginning, like start from the end,
Wow.
or imagine yourself rocking, in a rocking chair, 98 years old and talking to your, step kids or your little kids and saying, I'm really happy because I did that in my life and I'm really proud of myself. I have no regrets. What would that
Wow.
look?
I love that. And so then when you if you want to create a vision board for yourself, you start from that point that you first, what you're seeing, whether you're on the mountain or, if you're 90 years old with your grandchildren.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Jennifer, thank you.
Awesome.
You're awesome. I'm really excited to share this with all of our viewers because I really believe that this is the first step in creating the life of our dreams, the business of our dreams. So thank you so much for teaching us all of this. And do you want to talk a little bit about your business? I would love for you to explain also what you do and your website.
Yeah, absolutely. Currently, it's all in development. So, like I was saying a little earlier, I'm reinventing myself as an executive coach. So, my client are high-performing women who wants to have position in CEO companies and things like that. So, I'm developing a curriculum. So, that's going to be, a step-by-step core program, also personalized to where people wants to go within a company. So, I'm really excited about that. And with that, I'm also in the process of writing a book because, like I was saying before, the women executive that I'm interviewing, I'm taking their wisdom and knowledge, and I want to create a book on, on leadership for women. And, they're going to all talk to me about their journey. And part of it too, I'm going to do a little snippet on my blog because I have what's called executive interview series. They're coming. So my website is www.jenniferdaube.com. So you can follow the blog there and see what's happening. And I give a lot of tricks too. I talk a lot about leadership and things.
I love your blog.
Thank you. I think that's about what I'm doing right now. I'm really keeping myself focused because I could do so many things.
Oh, yeah.
So that's really all my business right now. It's all about upgrading yourself and getting ahead.
Awesome.
I think we all can. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jen. And thank you to everyone for listening and for tuning in. I wish you all the best luck in creating the business of your dreams. In our next couple of emails, we're going to share with you even some more wisdom on other levels to help you create that dream and that happiness for yourself. So, till then, see you soon.